Okay, so am I live? Yes, I am live. So I honestly don't know if it's working right. I'm just gonna go find the stream on my phone. Um yeah, so I actually just finished streaming to Twitch. It didn't really go too often looks of it. I'm not actually sure, but yeah, so I came up with a brilliant idea to get a streaming PC because no one ever does that. But I need to find specs. Now I know you don't need like high-end stuff and like GPU, like high-end GPUs, like Intel GPUs and everything. Get a streaming PC. No one ever does. Okay, so it's working. So now I'm just gonna watch the chat from my phone. Yeah, so I'll just put my phone right there. Right, right, right there. So I can watch the chat. Now, no one ever gets a streaming PC, I know. But yeah, so I actually went looking for PCs. I found this one. So it's kind of giving me an idea for what I could do with specs. So I could go with like a 1 TB hard drive, preferably actually 12 plus gigs of RAM, especially since I'm going to be streaming. I don't want to end up like crashing the stream due to low RAM. And because I'm streaming off of a laptop currently, like, yeah, an AMD FX 630 or 6300. Now I know that's not a gaming. Okay, no, it's supposed to be. It's not the best. It's really honestly not that the best CPU to get for gaming, as I'm saying, or I'm trying to say, but like it's good enough for streaming. It's got 6 cores, I think. Yeah, 6 cores, 8 GB L3 cache, 8 gigs of or 8 megs of L3 cache. Sorry, if it was 8 gigs, that'd be phenomenal. Yeah, GPU is just a 2 gig AMD RX 560. And yeah, so I'm gonna look for pre-builts as well as I'm also gonna put together one. I'm looking for pre-builts mainly to get an idea of what's out there. Now, this computer here, this is $1,000. I can't actually afford that, but it's pretty good. It's got an i5 8400, a 1 TB hard drive, 128 gig SSD, 8 gigs of RAM, and NVIDIA GTX 1050, not a 1050 Ti. So graphics wise, my laptop's better, but CPU wise, this computer's better. So this would be better for streaming than my laptop is. Now, if I did, no, I will need to get a video card though. I will need to look for Elgato's. Let's just go. There is one that I found online, but like, yeah, it's online, so I don't really trust it. This is the one I'm looking for that I'm wanting to use, so I can use this with my computer. I won't be getting a Stream Deck though. I'm too poor for that. So I'm actually gonna have to find something where I can actually fit this into my budget because I don't know what my bank balance is, but it's not too high. Oh shit, I don't want to like blow all my money. I need to save some money for my band trip. So if I'm gonna go for maybe like a few $100 and then get like this capture card. Because what you do is you basically do what you do with a console, but with this. So this is audio in and out. I'd probably just connect my mic directly into my computer, and yeah. Now these technically are meant for like PS4 and that stuff, but you can use it with what is it? You can use it with computers or desktops. The fuck? Okay. So an Acer Aspire, AMD A9. So that's not actually 12 gigs of RAM. $500. That's 200 less than this. So, oh, but still only has a 1-star review. What's wrong with it? Well, the computer to replace when I went a bunch of updates. Upgrading system. Okay, so it's extremely slow. That's what I'm getting off of that. Not surprised, honestly, given the processor. I think I'm actually going to go do some PC part picking now. And I will explain to you guys about computers if you have any questions about them. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to need a 4-core CPU at least. I'm probably going to go for a 6th Gen i5. I'll go for this. That's way over my budget. Or I could go with an i3 8350. i7 7500. I could go for this one. This one would work. Choose C. Those come with stock coolers. Okay, so wait, first let's talk about a CPU. So this is a box for an AMD Ryzen 3. I think it was 1300X. Okay, X means it's actually a bit better. So I could go for a bit of a cheaper one, but we can make that adjustment later. So it's data width 64-bit. Basically that. So if anybody's wondering, like, I don't actually know what the 64-bit is. That's just like transfer dating stuff. But if anyone's ever wondering, like, oh, this program says 32-bit, and I can get a 32-bit version of this program or a 64-bit version of this program, that's this stuff. So 64-bit or 32-bit. Almost, I think every CPU nowadays is a 64-bit, but a 64 can run a 32-bit program. 32-bit cannot run a 64-bit program. There. AM4, that's just a socket type, so each processor has their own socket type, so they're compatible with only certain motherboards. Operating frequency is 3.5 gigahertz, and it's got a turbo frequency of 3.7 gigahertz. The turbo basically just means that under load, it will go up, or at least that's what's supposed to happen. I'm not sure. Cores, 4. Okay, that's fine. That's just the amount of things, or the amount of data processors it has. And if this has hyperthreading, which it should, then it will have 8 threads. Because hyperthreading basically just takes the core. They're virtual cores, so they're called threads, but you basically just take the amount of cores and times that by 2. That's what you do. Now, cache. That's just basically the amount of data it can handle at one time. So basically you don't want to worry about the L1 or L2 cache. It's mainly the L3. 8 megabytes is actually great. Okay, no, it's not great. It's good. It's basically like what's the word I'm looking for? They're basically entry level, but like above entry level, so like decent. It's decent stuff. These are 2 completely different computers. I don't know. Okay, power use. I don't actually know what the lithography is. That's probably just how big the die is. No, that's not it. I don't know. Thermal design power. Basically, that's just how much power it takes. Now, because all modern day AMD GP or CPUs are all overclockable, you can overclock the frequency. But by doing that, you would have to also raise the power consumption. So right now it's at 65 watts, but you may have to make it up to like 100 watts if you want to go out to a frequency of like 4.5 gigahertz or something base. clock speed. So yeah, that's basically it for GPUs. We don't need a cooler because these come with stock coolers, and those stock coolers are actually pretty good. Now we will need a motherboard. Now, as I said earlier, each motherboard has its own socket type right here. So you're going to want to go for B450s because it's an AM. Those have AM4, and that's the chipset. Okay, chipset's basically on the motherboard. The companies like Intel or AMD will send like chips stuff to all the OEM companies, and they make a motherboard based off of that. And the B450 chipset is basically has all the stuff that is compatible with the or that is required to use the CPU. And so if you get like an outdated one, even though it has the same socket type, it won't work because unless you do a BIOS update, it will need a big BIOS update, and you may not be able to do the BIOS update if you have the modern day CPU. So what am I going to go with? I'm going to go with a motherboard that has just the basic necessities. So I can see an M.2 right there. That's good. This can support up to 32 gigs of RAM, probably. And then there's two 16x PCIe ports, which is more than enough. So I'm going to just go check the I/O on the side so I can get a good idea of what I'm dealing with. Okay, here's the I/O. Okay, so we got a PS2 combo, so which means okay, the colors mean what device can be used with it. Purple is keyboard, green is mouse, or it's vice versa. I can't remember. And if you have a combo like that, it can use both the keyboard or the mouse. Okay, if it's not combo and it's just one color, it has to use that device. If not, it won't work. Two USB 2.0s, DVI-D, HDMI. These won't be used because that plugs directly into the integrated graphics, which our CPU doesn't have. Two 3.1s or USB 3.1 Gen 1 or USB 3.0. That they're originally called USB 3.0. Here's an Ethernet port, probably 10 gigabit. Let's just check. It does not say. Yeah, 3.1 Gen 1, I was right. And these are probably going to be 3.1 Gen 2s or 3.1s. Then here's your audio jacks. I actually don't know which ones those are. You'll have to check the I/O shield if you get this motherboard. Now, this doesn't actually look to be too bad, so I'm going to go add this one into the computer. What's the price at already? So we're already at 200 bucks. Okay, we're getting pretty high. We may have to drop down the CPU a bit. Take out the X. So we're going to want 12 gigs. Let's go 12. There's no 12 gigs showing up. Let's go for 8 gigs then. And 16. Let's see what's the best we can get. Rating highest to lowest. So here's the first 16 gig one. You know what? No, there is a 16 gig dual channel. That is actually pretty good and pretty cheap. And is not nameless. It's an Aegis. It's Aegis RAM. Price lowest. Actually, we could go for T-Force. Let's go with this. I know that is pushing the thing really high. I'm just gonna go with 500 gigs. A 500 gig Crucial. Uh, Probably 500 gig crucial. Let's go here. So you just basically get out everything that we don't need. This one right here will work. Video card. Let's just go with a 560. Okay, that's getting pretty expensive. Let's take out the GPU. We don't need a GPU. We'll probably have to lower this down to 8 gigs. I'll go do that right now. 8 gig one channel because dual channel costs more. This is honestly probably the best we can get. And let's go see if I can find an i3 19 or a Ryzen 3 1900. AMD Ryzen 3. Okay, let's go for a 1200. This should work. Yeah, this will be good enough. So $100 CPU. Choose a case. We won't have to go with anything too much. How big is our motherboard? Okay, so that's a micro ATX. So we only need to go with a micro ATX case. Let's go micro ATX mini, just because I don't need, because like mid and stuff like jack the price up so much. Let's go rating highest to lowest. Jeez, these can get expensive. Bit cramped. Has an odd smell when you first open it. Smart graphics card. GPU case fits at airflow. Okay. So this is actually pretty good. I can go for that one. And I may just add in a small GPU just because. Just a power supply. Now, I will need to get a small monitor if I do get this. I'll probably get like a 17-inch monitor. Nothing too much. As long as I can see it. It can even be like 720p or something. I don't care. Okay, so all I need is I'm gonna go 400 watts. Best rating for with 400 watts. Wait, no, let's go 450. That gives me a lot. Okay, so how is this? Okay. So it's semi-modular, so we've just got a whole bunch of SATA ports or power ports. Okay, let's go with this. I'm not really talking about the specs more. I'm just kind of hurrying up right now. And a monitor, I won't need anything too special. I'll go with this. This looks like reasonably priced. Let's go 100. Actually, let's go 50. So They don't even have 720p monitors. I'm up here and I'm streaming. Just a little bit, not much. Okay, let's go with this. Price at 536. Oh, let's just find like a GPU I could use. Actually, go below 150. Maybe this would work. Only Newegg's got it. Haha. Wow, the stream isn't that far behind. It's got an HDMI and a display port. You know what? I don't need a GPU. And I can just find a keyboard and mouse lying around. Honestly, I can just find a wireless mouse, and then, as you guys remember, I can get a PS2 keyboard. I need a wireless card. Yeah, just remember that. So that is really big, having an internet connection. So then I'll go with this one. What's the specs on this one? I don't really know much about Wi-Fi specs. My uncle would know more. All I need to know is the gigs per second it has. If these even have gigs per second. Oh, it's got one of those tower thingies. Okay. So honestly, this is not bad. And then I would add like a. Okay. Let's look for a capture card. Amazon does have a really good has a really good capture card. But that's Amazon. Amazon. This one right here. This one's pretty good. This one seems to be pretty good. What are the reviews on this? Works great. I bought it on Amazon. I bought it. Amazon did the frequency bot together and showed an HDMI splitter that you wouldn't need. I can't use the HDMI anyways. It keeps popping up in an error. Your television cannot support HDCP over your high definition connection. Let's see if I can find a YouTube review on this. Okay, so this one actually looks to be pretty good. Is there any questions on this? PC. Let's see. Does it work on PC? Can capture PC gameplay if your PC has an HDMI input. Can I record my monitor to my PC with this? You cannot record No, yeah, record monitor. Here is the new version, which can meet your. What is this? Oof, that's a bit more. Damn, this may not work for PC. But this one should. See, technically, you'd think it does because if it's plug and play, you just connect in the HDMI cables and have it go from your computer to your monitor, and then have it go to another computer that captures it and then like spits it out. Because it's literally the same connections, and then you just put it to OBS instead, having it like I don't know. Okay, let's try this one. Is this one I literally just watched? It is. Okay, so let's just quickly add up these prices together. So it's probably going to be over 700, which is a bit much. And I want to know for sure that this is going to work. Oh, so it's 698. Yeah, that's the right price. Okay. Okay. So this one says it works with Windows. So I'm trusting it does. Let's check the reviews on this. By buying this product, you should not expect perfect quality for 100. This. Okay, so technically, this is according to review is gonna work for me. Is this exactly what I just looked at? This is actually what I just looked at. Oh, recently viewed items. How long have I been streaming for? Sec. I'm restarting the stream on my phone. 37 minutes. Okay. Oh wait, no, this is related items. Hmm. This is exactly what I just looked at. Okay. Oh, this records just to USB. Okay. I recently purchased this device to stream PS4 gameplay to Twitch. Have done nothing but struggle with it since it has arrived. Okay, verified purchase, verified purchase, verified purchase. So you know what? This one should actually work. So if I go back to my pricing, do I have my pricing here? No. Yeah, I could probably could have guessed that, but yeah, so for a whole new setup for streaming and everything, honestly doesn't seem too bad, but I would need to get an extra HDMI cable. Just like a small one. And yeah, it would do pretty good. So yeah, that's really it, guys. Yeah, so I've started streaming to Twitch. The link, it's actually linked down below, um, in the comment section of this video. So yeah, I really do hope you guys enjoyed the stream, even though it was kind of boring and I was just looking at computer stuff. So yeah, if you're actually wanting to look for like a streaming PC or anything that you could use, I would definitely recommend stuff that I would recommend currently at the moment, stuff I picked out. And if I can, if my parents do actually let me get it, then and I test it out and it will work. It'll hopefully work great. If not, I may have to return the capture card or just sell it. And yeah. So hope you all enjoyed. That's the end of it. Bye.